about a difficult experience you've learned.
It's kind of uncomfortable just thinking about it. But I remember when I was an undergrad, I used to walk through the girls' dorm areas to off campus where I had a basement apartment. And I often stopped and chatted with the girls, and I knew some girls really well, and they were really friendly and so forth. And one day I walked past there, and some of the girls were just sitting outside chatting and so forth, and I joined them, and somehow the discussion went in the direction of Africa. And one girl said something, I don't remember what it was, but something outrageous, like New Delhi is the capital of Zambia, or something really crazy. So I said, no, that's not the case, I'm kind of set her straight, quote unquote. And she insisted, no, it is, it really is. And I insisted, no, it isn't. And so we got a bit in a it isn't situation. And now obviously I knew the situation, I knew what it was, so I wasn't gonna back off. And although I don't know if I was thinking in the sense of backing off, but it was just so simple and straightforward, so I got sucked into it a bit. And then one of the other girls said something really surprising to me. She said, listen, I don't care if you're right or if you're wrong. You're wrong. And I didn't quite get it immediately. It's like, if I'm right, how can I be wrong? And what do you mean, if I'm right or wrong, I'm wrong? And then it hit me. And I realized there are different levels. One is the factual level, right and wrong, and that's exactly where I was living. But there's a deeper level too, and that is how you connect with people. And the way I was dealing with this was not very good. Obviously, I didn't realize that, but it was obvious from the response that I got that I did not deal with grace, with kindness, with consideration for the other person. I was just going for the facts and willing to level the other person if it needs to be, to stick with the facts. So I just kind of kept quiet and like, whoa, this is a little sudden and surprising. But obviously, as you can tell, that lesson has stayed with me for life. And so I realized, and this is the interesting feel that comes from that has really shaped my relationship with everybody I've got. I think of it this way. You've got a relationship of trust and of showing care and so forth. Now, what if something wrong happens? If it goes wrong, you focus on the facts and you ignore the relationship and you just deal with the facts, and that person has to deal with it however they wish. A better way is, and it's interesting because I'm now responding to this with a feeling rather than with factual stuff. And so to describe those feelings of the mental feeling and experience that is in me is not always that easy, but this I'll try my best. Can I retain the persons that I'm working with if I have to convey a difficult message? Can I convey the message and keep them emotionally safe and stay connected to them and still deliver the message? In other words, you're in that bubble of the relationship that you've already established. Can I retain that within that? Or do I see it as two completely separate things, and suddenly I switch modes and our relationship is one thing, I've got to deal with the facts here and just deal with it and then try and switch back into it? I always try to deal with it within that bubble, but I didn't then. That's how that has changed me. And so the final word there is, you can focus on things or people, and people are always more important. And when you make things more important, people are not important, and that becomes obvious. That's when trust breaks down, and people don't feel as comfortable with you. But if you can retain that sense of people are always important to you, you can deal with sensitive stuff and still retain that relationship. So it was a hard one, but I'm glad I was taught that lesson.